It's going to be a weird one. The sun's going to be a bit weird, a bit wacky, and we just got to lean into it. The stream has started. Wonderful. Hello.
The stream started.
Stunning. Anne, are you frozen for me?
Oh no. I'm not frozen for me.
Thomas, is Anna frozen for the stream, or is it just for me?
Everybody's
She's moving for me.
Sweet. Okay. I'm sure it'll fix itself. Okay, there we go. It fixed itself.
Okay.
Adventure chords.
Anna, would you like to start the recap, please?
Okay. Well. Oh yes. Okay. I had to start my notes in one part, and then session 107 was last session. Okay. So we had two main scenes of action. One was Carl getting interrogated by Brian and Loran with Zarina and Saraza, and then the rest of us, Cass, Slya, Bluey, and Neff, finding out, trying to get to that little painite, which takes us to an interesting scenario. Anyway, so the stealth team, trying to swap out the real painite for the fake one. Slya does a detect the thing, that spell.
Locate object.
Thank you, locate object. Yes, she does it several times. We decide to go into, I think it was Leander's office. Why have I put so much in my notes to not the important bit? Okay, sure. We're all right stealth-wise. Some of us are very stealthy, and some of us are. I'm glad that we were together with the stealthier ones. Anyway. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. We cut to Brian and Loran and Saraza and Zarina. Loran gives runes to the mansion, like flips it under Leander's door, just in case. It seems like a highly unusual thing because the people guarding Karul are like, what? What you doing here, Zarina? And she's like, I'm the boss. Shut up.
I'm a bitch. I'm a boss.
And they're like, gulp. Okay, Mom. Okay. Yes. The floor is still kind of ashy from last fiery little exploit. Karul's let out of the locket, and yes, Carl tries to be funny. And Loran then pulls out a chaise lounge. And that
Loran is funnier.
Yeah, which makes him the funniest man alive, not Karul. So take that. So Brian and Loran ask what Elijah's doing with the tome, and Karul's like studying, learning, improving his magics, and it's to meet a mutual end with Karul. And he asks the two of them how much do we know about the Painite, and on the theory that like the Painite was used to help kill Karul's the like Malel clan. Then Karul is like, he's trying to not act interested, but he's interested in the fact that Loran's proposed that. And Loran brings forward the theory that like it was an accident, because you'd need anyway. Karul brings up Rhea, a first child with Brian apparently, and then like I think Loran's feigning like, yo, what the fuck? I didn't quite get all of that. Anyway, okay, back to the stealth team. The stealth team is stealthing. We kind of in Leander's office, we determined that there's a book you can pull out, and then there's a secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel. Yes, okay. Which leads to the main kind of amphitheater, and I think where trials kind of go down. There's a nice little chair in the center. It's very dark though, very big. But the locate object is pulling us down into the center, and I think family members might be about to come through and leave, so I'm not sure if I'll be muting in just a second. So, okay, that might be my cue now.
Cool.
Maybe not.
No?
Yes, it is.
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. Under the Sealy Court. Secret tunnel. Musical interlude. Carry on for
Under the Sealy Court.
Under the Sealy Court.
Sorry, okay. Yes, it's okay. It's very kind of odd in here because we see a panel that's like loose, can be loosened, and then we find wait, no, because there's an illusion on top of it. But who sees through the illusion? Someone see through it? Okay, there's a hole, but there's an illusion over it to make it. Okay, Cass sees through. Anyway, okay. This is very unusual, and then we hear kind of like sounds up the top. So the four of us are like, okay, gotta hide. We funnel into the tunnel. Neff ties herself to someone. All of us, I don't remember. Yeah, and we kind of like quietly go down. Slya casts like a anti-magic shield. So that's important for in just a second. And we kind of enter this room where there's columns and there's a big glowing kind of circle, and in the middle is floating some painite, and it's in a rift. And then we see a figure, a man. It's Leander. He's slumped and he doesn't look good. He's unconscious, and he looks gaunt, and he's got little scratch marks, and he looks injured. And he says he was injured by shadows. He didn't see what injured him.
Secret.
So okay. So there's a weird thing where sort of Bluey kind of steps forward and brings her light up, and he's like, "Oh shit, that hurts. Don't." And then okay, so then it's like, okay, let's dull that. Okay, back to Brian and Loran. Loran is being very melodramatic, and he's playing it up well, and Brian's doing a good job of being like, I don't know what you're doing, when it's like, okay, the signal for Zarina to take the locket out of the circle is Loran casting a spell. Loran casts something that is just a bolt of pain, and he fires it, and Carl, and as it hits Karul, it kind of ricochets, but it kind of transforms, and it's even worse. And Loran is hit.
Just when you thought things couldn't get worse.
Yeah, and then we cut back to Leander is also in pain, so he's in pain from the light because it sets the painite off. And then he starts burning. He starts seeing the runes that are on the circle like burn on him.
Then he starts burning.
Yep, and then the room starts to come on fire. Yes, Slya kind of gets in range with that anti-magic circle, which helps. It seems to help. Yeah, room's on fire. The circle is dimmed though. The old switcheroo is done, I think, with the mage hand. And I have here the fake painite floats through like custard. That's sort of like floats through the bit there,
Like-
and that kind of falls. Emma said at one point, "I'm going to give the fire 5 hit points." I think because Cass tries some very impressive wall of sand to like put the fire out, and I think it allows us to get back out of. Wait, hang on. Where did we leave off? Did we get out of there?
Yes.
Yes, we did. We did. Okay, yeah, we got out of there.
You guys went on a little field trip.
Oh yes, and then Slyan drops the bubble. Neff teleports us to the High Solarian into Brian's room. Okay, so we're out of there, and then back to the Loran and Brian action. Yes, Krul's warped that spell and made it worse. I think that's where that little interview ends. Krul doesn't really help. They leave with Loran, who's kind of just screaming. They go. I think Zarina.
Emma acting sad and surprised when you're like, Leander's burning, Loran's screaming, as if Emma didn't orchestrate all of it.
Right.
Yes.
It's just the phrasing. It's just like, wow, hitting me. Leander burning got me good.
Okay, so Zarina tries something with some red painite. And why did I write big movement? What does that mean? What? What does big movement mean?
They had a really great dance, and it was like a big move.
It was a 45-minute movement piece by the Dehane family dance troupe.
Maybe Moonbeam.
I mean, no, I clearly wrote Moonbeam like 2 lines down. I don't know.
Maybe that's
What
like
if
the medieval way of
it-
saying
what-
like good job. It's like good, good move, great movement.
Wonderful movement.
Anyway, it seems to work to help Loran, but then it kind of doesn't, as in it doesn't seem enough to heal or restore Loran. Like he's in pain.
Night.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh,
Okay. Yes. The greater the spell, the greater the difference. The difference in what, Anna? What are you trying to say here? This is what happens when it all makes sense in the moment and you're just writing it down. And it's like, okay, I gotta write it quickly. But anyway, Brian does a moonbeam and it bursts through the ceiling, and because Loran's kind of like shifted a bit in his form, he's turning back into normal Tarshiri, good looking. The circle falls. Everyone sort of collapses. Loran stops.
You saying a monster Loran isn't hot? Did you just say that?
I'm sorry, have I slighted you?
Terribly.
I'll put out a Twitter apology in a few minutes. No. Okay. Yes.
I fully expect you to.
Loran seems zonked out, but at least he's alive. The pain magic starts to kind of fade. I think with Brian's help, and with Sarah's help, he puts in a little bit, and it's like, oh, he's a little. Anyway, it's very good. Message to the courtrooms. What? Okay, who sends that message? Tsunami? The Sealy Ocean. Okay.
the Sealy Ocean.
Wait, hang on. Someone messages Karul and says that Jiral's died, and they ascertain that Karul didn't like that. Isn't that it? Or no, did Brian return to Karul?
Brian
and
went
be
back
like,
to Karul.
Jiral died. Okay, never mind. That's what happened. Okay. And then when asked about Valis, Brian's like, I don't know. Okay. Meanwhile, in the High Solarian, Leander's the anti-magic field kind of numbs the pain. It's a sixth level heal doesn't quite do it. So yes, Cass brings Corvius in. What did I mean there? What did I mean when I wrote
You got
Slya,
this.
Arrow, Zarina, and then Zarina, Arrow, Slya? Okay, Corvius gets Leander into a recovery position. We then kind of make it so that, okay, Zarina will arrive here and tend after and assess Leander. And then the four of us will go back to the Feywild. And so we do that. We give the paint to Brian. And Cass and Bluey go to guard Karul. And Brian does some stunning of the paint as Neff heals and Slya regenerates. Is this... What about Loran would have needed regenerating? Is it Loran?
It stimulates the natural healing of a creature. It's also just a big healing spell.
Okay,
boy
so
spell.
yeah, but Neth and Slya are doing cleric shit, basically. Sorry. Yes.
I can't talk right now. I'm doing cleric shit.
Yes. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
There's a big thing. I'll happily be like, yeah. Anyway.
So
How's that,
just
folks?
pretty good. To tie it all up. Most of you, other than Zuna and Leander, returned to the Sealy Court, where you hauled up, I believe, in Serena's office. Yes.
Yes.
Yep. And Cass went down to babysit our good friend Coral.
And well, Blue
And Bluey went to
Blue
the
inside.
door.
Yes.
For sure. Wonderful. Okay, so let us begin properly. Right. Coming off of using an extraordinary amount of magic, Ulster, you are sitting with Loran. His condition seems much the same as before. We're picking up right where we left off, which is that he doesn't look like he's got any external injuries. It just seems that his body has shut down as a defense mechanism, comatose somewhat, to protect himself. And I believe left in the room with you are Neff,
Yes.
Slya, Saraza, with the others gone downstairs. So, is there anything you would like to do in this moment before we catch up with Cass and our good friend Carl?
Our good friend. I take offense to
Best
that.
friend.
Bestie.
Our best friend. I checked Loran last session, I think, at the very end, if I remember that correctly.
Yep.
Can I
You guys have
also
done general checks on him, yeah.
do a medicine check on Brian?
You may, yes.
Okay.
Brian, I mean, are you allowing this?
Yeah, I think Brian's just pumping all of his healing magic like intermittently into Loran, so there's probably just like a wave of magic every now and then from Ulster.
Okay. I will roll a medicinal inspection check.
And I'll make sure to tick those off my spell sheet.
Pretty good. 24.
24, okay.
You feel a stethoscope
does-
on your back.
So,
Just breathe normally.
Ulster is physically fine, but he is using a lot of magic. I think you can tell that his magic is like quite low.
Okay.
I'm ticking that off.
In that case, I don't know if this will do. Can I cast guidance upon the Brian?
Sure.
Brian.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Ulster, is there any kind of check that you want to do using this kind of like rush of energy that just bolsters you for a moment? Anything you want to do to help Loran or to check on his condition? Anything else at all?
You can add a D4 roll to that.
I think I might want to do... He's in a coma, isn't he, essentially?
Essentially, yes.
Can I do an Arcana check again? Just to see how his magic has responded to this as well? Because I know that Loran is quite magical based.
Can I assist with that?
Sure. Ulster, as you sit kind of looking over...
Dirty 20.
It's going to be with advantage. I just want to describe the... I want to describe first the... so, Slya, You watch as Allsdare kind of begins to lean over Loran and is trying to connect with him. How are you helping? What are you doing to assist? What does it look like?
I think she's just trying to gauge like if there's any like magical assistance she can do, anything medical assistance she can do, and is also just kind of like trying to stand by and give whatever help she can.
Sure thing. You can kind of take charge by then probably just keeping his body working and functioning, or assisting that as much as you can from a healer's point of view, making sure his temperature is okay, making sure he's comfortable, and so on. So also you can roll with advantage, and you can add your d4 as well.
It's 23. That was a 4, so.
Okay. Did you roll a d4 to that?
Yep, it's 23.
Cool. Right, so with that accounted for, you kind of feel your own magic extending, sort of just reaching out for Loran's. There is... how can I describe it? Loran is, like, his whole being goes hand in hand with magic. He is very naturally gifted, and that gift has been sort of like honed into a craft over years of study and practical application. And you've always known that he is very powerful, very strong, especially compared to his peers and people in, for example, the Sealy Court, who are all pretty natural, not natural, pretty magical. Natural.
Except Talia.
Except Talia, she's fake, yeah. Pretty magical. However, now, when you've reached out, it's almost like you're touching a raw flame, or a burning pan. It's like you have the instinct to pull away, like your insides are blistering, your sensations are blistering, as you reach out to his magic.
Not pulling away.
Shut. Blister. Yeah, I think actually you would have a pretty visceral reaction. You kind of double over and you just kind of like start hyperventilating as you feel that magic kind of penetrate. But what's interesting is that you don't feel Loran's body reacting negatively to it. You know that, like yourself, Loran has spent a lot of time with Paynite. That 6-month period, he attuned himself to the blue Paynite. Even though he was working with others, it's still a large force of energy. Roll me an intelligence check, if you don't mind. Is it
I'm
not?
going to use a luck point. That was a natural one.
Okay, you did use 2 last sessions?
This is my last one.
Okay.
Okay, that was better. That was 16 plus.
He's a smart boy.
But this is a 19.
19. Oh, smart boy.
Not a natural one. We don't talk about that.
I think the natural one is like a moment of just like, it's a moment of like, oh, husband, so amazing. Oh wait, this actually has meaning. You kind of like refocus and you kind of realize that the fact that he has experience working with Paynite is probably what's saving him from the majority of the negative after effects. You get the impression that, yeah, that's what's happening here, mostly. That's not to say there won't be any negative after effects at all, but he's not physically damaging himself right now.
Okay. I think also it's just setting himself up to burn through almost all of his magic. He's only going to save 1 spell slot, and that's Plane Shift, just in case he needs to evacuate Loran whilst he's in this state.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay.
I will just intermittently tick those off as we go.
For sure.
He's already burned through 2 4th level, I'll say.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I mean, if you're going to be going through all of them, then I'll let you know, kind of just keep in mind how many you could cast in maybe an hour or so, because that's how much time is about to pass.
He can do every single one. So
Every
I guess
single
anyone in the room is just going to see Ulster completely drain himself. So probably looking
Okay.
a bit sick.
Okay. All right. Do you want to tick off those slots? Oh God. You watch
It's just
as
so much power. So much power.
Ulster relentlessly just puts in this healing magic.
It's all gone.
It's all gone. It's all gone. The rum's all gone.
Why is the rum always gone?
Sure. Okay, so as you're sitting over Loran with the healers among you, Slia and Neff, tending to him and tending to you as well, we will go downstairs and have a chill time with our best friends, Bluey, Cass, and Carl. So, Cass,
Ain't that a party?
Cass and Bluey, the
Mhm.
two of you enter. I know we've already kind of described you guys going in there, but I just want to do it again for emphasis. You guys enter into the room which was being occupied by Karul, and you see the floor is it's like wood chips almost, wooden planks set down, very bare minimum, nondescript kind of character to this room, and sitting in the center of it, inside a magical circle, which if you kind of walk past it, you can see this like sheen, almost just like the shift in the air, where you can just see this like magical force field keeping Karul inside, and
Question.
sitting.
Where does
Yeah.
Karul go to the bathroom?
Well, he used to go.
It just struck me and I was really concerned. I'll leave that. It's fantasy.
Fantasy.
It's high fantasy. We don't have bathrooms.
Ever
In
gone to the
this-
We
bathroom?
don't go to the bathroom.
In this circle, he doesn't need to eat, he doesn't need to drink.
In
He
these
doesn't need to-
circles. He
in
doesn't.
these-
Oh, good.
Sure. I imagine they Serena did have fun with that. Anyway, never mind. So, you see Karul is sitting there and he just watches the two of you enter, eyes narrowed, but confused. Doesn't say
I
anything.
think it's just going to be like, I feel like I'm going to roll. I don't think it's going to intimidate him, but I think Cass is just going to generally roll an intimidation check, and it's just
So
not gonna
you're walking in an intimidating manner.
intimidating manner. I think she's just
Okay.
kind of like, I hate this fucking dude. You suck.
Yep.
I'm angry. I think that's her general vibe for this. I also haven't rolled an intimidation check for a very long time. Cass has gone more down the persuasion
Swagger
route.
in.
Swagger in, man.
How good's your
Can I
swagger?
suggest a way to like assist Cass in intimidating?
Yes,
like
you
with-
may. Bluey, what do you want to do before we get to that, Cass? Bluey, what do you want to do to assist? Or would you like to
Okay,
roll your
well,
own
the-
intimidation roll?
No, I want to assist Cass.
Okay.
Just like behind her, like a bouncer, like she's about to like come up to somebody and be like, "All right, you're out of this place, mate," like that kind of thing, and then like bounces back like.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, Cass,
So am I
roll
rolling
with
advantage?
advantage. Yeah.
Right. Oh my god, it's natural 20, which makes it 30!
Yes.
Karul is pissing himself.
Oh god, I'm so happy it was a natural 20! Sick.
Coral jumps, but then like really quickly collects himself. It's like, leans forward and just kind of like watches the two of you. Doesn't say anything though. He's staying silent.
Yeah, I don't think Cass is necessarily interested in what he has to say. So I
That's
think Cass
fine.
will sort of just be like, but just, I mean, I'm not going to stop Bluey if Bluey has something she wants to say.
I'm sorry, I'm smiling right now, but this is Bluey. Bluey's definitely not. This is.
Bluey's just like beaming, like, wow, isn't this neat?
This is the right emotion.
So you have nothing.
In this situation. I can't think of anything. Just,
You know, hey, if anything comes to mind, you can tell me. If you are just taking watch over him and
I
not
suppose
saying
it's not
anything.
very interesting for the sort of narrative of game if we're just in silence.
No, if you're just watching there, that's fine.
Hmm.
We can move on to the next thing. That's okay. So
I
It's
think
probably cathartic for our characters, but interesting for the game.
so you guys take up position, and Karul says nothing. And you can feel time passing. All of the events of the previous night took place very late to early morning, and you feel yourselves becoming overcome with exhaustion. All of you are on the same sleep schedule. So we're gonna. Who is sleeping when? Are you establishing a watch? Who is? Because I'm assuming someone's going to be taking over, watching over Karul in the meantime.
Ulster's gonna try not to sleep until the rat wakes up, which is probably a terrible decision.
Okay, you can take 1 level of exhaustion. That's fine.
Okay.
So 1 level of exhaustion means that all of your abilities, you roll all of your ability checks at disadvantage from now.
Cool.
The moment you hit 6 levels of exhaustion, you die. So, just bear those in mind. Yep. Okay, everyone else.
I think Slya might suggest watches between like herself, Neff, and Sarazar.
Okay. Sarazar seems fine with this.
Okay.
I'm fine with this.
I am also fine with this.
We also need to figure out who's going to be switching in for Cass and Bluey so that they can get some rest as well.
That's
When he
true.
wakes up, I'll do it.
Sarazar looks down at Loran, looks at you, and says, Ulster, you look terrible. I don't think you should go down there. Stay next to Loran in case he wakes up. We can handle this.
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to see him again, go back when we've won.
When the ram wakes up.
When Loran wakes up. Also, I'm assuming since Serena didn't come back with you.
She's with your father in Solarian.
Have you told Sarazar about Leander yet? She told him, didn't she? She met, yeah.
If Zarina had
Yep.
said so, yeah.
Yep. Okay, just checking. Sarazar just nods and says, well, we wait for her command.
We need to
think-
make a move before. If they manage to get to Leander, then I have a few ideas.
He said shadows took him.
I know how this court works. Zarina has mages here loyal to her. On her command. They can act. And we should support them when they do. She said she needed time. Not that long. We rest first.
We rest. I still have an idea, but I'll need Slya to try something for me. I'm gonna need you to send a message in Massage to my father to make sure that nobody can overhear it.
Okay.
I can help you with the pronunciation if you wouldn't mind sending it to him.
Absolutely. Just tell me what to say.
Okay. And also it's going to send a message to roll me, but it's going to be in Massage. I will not be speaking Massage.
That's fine.
Let's make that very clear. It will probably be not a direct translation, but probably be something along the lines of, I need to speak to you. see, it's difficult because it's not exact word for word, but I'm going to treat it like it is. Karul is a threat to the Messiah, the world, and he needs to be properly punished, unlike before. Ulster.
Slee sends it.
You feel the message take hold. And after a moment, the reply. Bring him to me. We'll see it done.
Okay. I think also it's going to be very quiet when Slya says that. I have a plan. But nobody outside here can know.
Nobody needs to know.
Okay. I think also it's going to go and whisper in everyone's ear so nobody is eavesdropping. And start with Slya. I'm going to extradite Karul to the Messiah, if possible, to kill him. He'll tell everyone.
Sarah says in response to that, without, you can tell as he replies, he's making a distinct effort not to mention details. He says, if you want to do that, I support you. Zarina will be able to help. Slya, could you send her a message? Let her know that is the plan. Once she knows that, she'll know how this needs to go.
Slya sends that message.
Okay. And it takes longer. And after a while, even though you feel the message kind of like beginning to fade, you hear Zarina's voice. The magic, of the message beginning to fade, you hear Zarina's voice responding to you. She says, okay, forget 72 hours. How about we make it 8?
That's hot. Also doesn't say.
Okay. Slya will give the message or individually like Brian did.
"8 hours until..."
Ulster, you need to rest.
I'll try.
We'll be watching over him.
Is there any way you can put me to sleep? Looks at Sarah as though like, you could just give me a little... I'm joking.
Sarah's, yeah, he looks like, I would only do that if you were being a danger to yourself. Though I can do it. Slya, you probably have smelling salts or a similar kind of relaxant in your healer's kit.
Yeah. I was gonna say I have that where I can
Chlorophyll.
Yeah.
Put him out. I think also is laying down next to Lorraine. He's got an arm around him. He's gonna hold
is
on.
it chlorophyll or chloroform?
Chloroform. Chlorophyll is in plants.
Plants.
Yeah.
I was just gonna let
my
that
brain was
slide.
like melatonin.
Melatonin. Chloroform.
Yeah.
I'm not well versed.
Chlorine.
In,
we're gonna kill.
methods
We're gonna clean up these bad
bringing out
guys.
the person. Oh yeah, I love chlorine. Chlorine when I'm planning my kidnaps.
Prepare to get cleaned out. Cool.
Sorry. Can you swim? Sorry.
Wait,
Any of that?
That's what it sounds like. Bluey calling up from Carol.
We're like, what?
Prepare to have your pool sanitized, Carl. Your days are up.
Yes.
Sorry.
Alright. Yeah, you're gonna need to like aid Brian in falling asleep because he's not very happy.
Okay. So, Celia, are you doing anything? You can roll this a general medicine check to see how well you put him to sleep.
No,
Sarah's just waiting, like just looming behind Ulster, just to catch you. Only to catch you.
A. Oh, it's a 9. Oh gosh.
9.
Oh gosh, it's double nines.
this.
28.
You got this.
28?
It's a 19 plus 9.
Yeah, 28.
19 plus 9, 28, yeah. Okay, 28, perfect. Ulster, Celia comes up to you and I think just probably holds your cheek and gently lifts this
Smell
bottle
this.
of small salts. You
Kinda
do a
like
sniff and
massaging his,
immediately
like,
you just
temples and you know.
immediately you just feel yourself just kind of like swoon into the arms. Knocked out. Everybody else, you see Sarah's just kind of like gently lower Ulster to the ground, and he starts unrolling each of both Loran and Ulster's bedrolls, which I'm just assuming you guys would have
Also
left
made
your
a moss bed for Loran.
moss bed. Perfect. You guys watch as Sarah's tucks them into the moss bed and then starts rolling out his own bedroll and like patching up over the floor, and he just turns to the two of you and says, I don't mind doing first watch. Taking after. They would only need one more.
Once Neff and I get a little bit of sleep, maybe we should go down to watch over Karul and let Cass and Bluey get some sleep too.
All right.
If
Sounds good.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Neff really is the SpongeBob of our group.
She
isn't
kind of is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sarah's a Squidward.
Oh my god!
Slia, before Slia goes down for sleep, she's also going to give Sarazer the album from Leander's office.
Sarah's
The
just
album with
says,
the questionable pictures in it.
Well,
Sarah's just opens the first few pages. And he says, I know to stop before I get ahead of myself, so I'm going to just look at these nice ones and then not think about whatever else might be in here. Where did you find this?
we borrowed it from his office.
I'll give it to him, maybe,
How do you-
when he wakes up. Yeah. I'm sure. Dahanes are resilient, especially when magic is involved. And he just heads over to his bedroll and starts tucking himself in. And you guys can start getting the beginnings of a long rest, including yourself, Ulster. So, you guys, sleep kind of comes to you, but far too soon. Sarah awakes again, and Cass, Bluey, if there's nothing you need to say to Karul, anything at all, you don't have to, just in case this is your last chance.
I just kind of feel like saying something to him gives him like the upper hand, because like you're having to sort of get something from him, and
Yeah.
Cass is gonna say something both cool and weird, like Brian threatened to eat him. So it's like, you don't deserve my words.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So you guys wait.
You can't top cannibalism.
Oh my
No.
God.
Quotes.
No.
That's a quote, yeah.
Quotes. So Sarza relieves the two of you, and you can make your way upstairs and start doing a nap with your friends. You do see that Loren and Auster are in a moss bed together.
On the way up, can I do a perception check? The general Sealy Court and the vibes. How do vibes?
Smells like salt water and ash.
You can do it at disadvantage because at this point, sleep is kind of starting to become a bit more of a priority. So yes, but.
All right. Oh, they were rolled exactly the same. And so that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. It looks chaos, to say the least. You don't really make out a singular person, one or two people. You just hear from all around you, just people calling out and running back and forwards between offices. You probably, if you stop to look, actually took time over it, but you'd be kind of like risking not getting back in time to get a full long rest if you do. You probably would be able to recognize people and get a bit more information, but if you want a long rest, then
Nah. We'll go.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. And Bluey, I'm assuming the same.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you guys got up to sleep, and Sarza. Oh, Sarza just stands there quietly. Grr. Didn't roll a very good intimidation check, but it's because Sarza's just a really soft on the inside.
I'm Angie, no
like
talk
an
me.
egg.
Mm.
Okay. And Slia, Neff, a few hours after you've gone to sleep, you hear the door creak open, and you are gently each tapped on the shoulder as Sarza comes to rouse you from your sleep. And he just says, it's time. The chaos seems to have calmed down a bit down there, but stay on guard just in case.
Okay.
Of course.
And you guys can go downstairs and watch over Cruel. Is there anything you want to say to him? You see pretty much the exact same scene that Neff and Bluey saw.
I'm seeing the same scene that I and Bluey saw.
No, Cass and Bluey. I'm sorry, Cass and Bluey.
Can I roll an intimidation check? I want to stare at Carl in an intimidating manner.
Okay,
Okay.
roll an intimidation check.
Let me just open. I'm trying to. Ability. Okay. Intimidation. It's not very great. Oh my god, it's a natural one, but I guess that makes sense.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh yeah, true. Wait, it's not. Yeah.
Neff never does natural ones again in her whole life.
That's so weird.
Only natural 2s for Neff.
Only natural 2s.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an 11.
In 11, you kind of puff up your chest, just like walk as much as you can, forgetting you're a halfling. Not that halflings aren't very intimidating, but this one definitely not.
I don't think Neff is necessarily. Intimidation is not what she's necessarily known for. She hasn't made a name for herself as an intimidator, per se. So, she's.
Neff is like Simba trying to roar as a baby.
She is, yeah.
Yeah. That's it, essentially. That's the whole vibe right now.
I am
Cruel
mad.
says nothing.
See, I think he's intimidated by me. He's not saying anything.
Slaya's gonna completely ignore Karul. Like 100%. She's just like fuming.
I think
Silent treatment.
I think we've got it.
Yeah.
I think he's scared.
Karul's just stumped by Neff, by her very existence.
Slia, he's
Yeah,
shivering in his boots. I can feel the shakes. Or maybe that's my shivering. I don't know.
Keep it up, Neff. You got this.
Okay.
Cruel. You know what? And Neff is making a concentrated effort. Karul raises his eyebrows and then looks away. Like, what the fuck? Oh no! Not like this, Thomas. Not like this.
This guy's a bad guy. He's pretty bad. I think he's shaking. Slia, I think I've got him. He's not
That's
leaving my
what Karul
sight.
does. He slides away on his rolly chair. Ricochets off the back of the magical circle and just starts ping-ponging around. Untrue. But anyway, Neff, you're making leaps and strides towards becoming the most intimidating member of this party.
Thanks.
And you guys finish your watch. As you do, Ulster and Slia, the two of you are woken a little bit earlier than you would have expected. You still get a long rest. And Slia, of course, is still awake, but like, you are contacted in your minds, one after the other, by the voice of Zarina calling to you. And she says, "Trust me. Let whatever happens in the court happen. We'll have control by duskrise." You can reply if you're confused or if you need any more information from her.
Also, stubborn side's like, but he's not going to say anything. Let people take control.
Yes, so I think it's gonna.
So, I'm sorry. She said, "We will have control by sunrise," as in Zarina
I mean,
and
like,
squad.
when she was like, "Oh, let what happens happens," also says like, "I'm not good at that," but he's not going to say anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Slee was just like, okay. But Zarina would get that she's a little bit confused.
For sure. Serena then would reply to you just once more, sending you a sending, saying, hang on, what would she say? "Whoever moves against you, those are the traitors. We capture them. And then we bring them before the Archfey to oversee the execution.
Can we kill them?
Karul is exempt." So, this is to Slia. But Slia, from that message, can you just roll me an insight check?
Okay.
Just because I want to see how much you can infer from what she said.
Nice. 18 plus 9.
Perfect.
27.
Yes, my favorite number, 27.
Oh.
Comes up so often. Hyperventilates in angel numbers. Anyway. But Slia, I think probably spending time with the Dehanes and in your preparation to go probably down to the Underdark, you would have done a bit more research into the history of the Sealy Court. And Siri, go away, not you. I said history of the Sealy Court. Okay, we're good. And you know that the Archfey don't tend to get involved directly unless their power is directly at risk. The only exception to this is Queen of the Sealy Court, Titania, who you imagine has a vested interest in keeping power in the Feywild. There's stories of her trying to prevent war, trying to foster peace between herself and her enemies, and conflict in the mortal realm, even if it's the long-lived realm that is the Feywild, is pretty polar opposite to what she likes to stand for. Traitors are something that she abhors, and I think she abhors traitors and if Zarina's what's the word? Contact, because she did say that she was going to be contacting the Archfey, has led her to the point where she can say they will be executed, overseen by the Archfey. You get the impression that's probably somebody like Titania or of a similar power level. She did say that Cruel is exempt. Knowing.
So we can take him.
Oh yeah, so long as you weed out the traitors, you guys can do whatever you want, because then you guys have power over the Sealy Court. Well, at least
Can we have him in a nice
Zarina's
little bow
mages.
so he can't run away? We'll just like pull along.
I guess we'll have to see how that goes.
That does answer my question.
Brian goes in with a bow. Here, Cruel, stand still.
My
What was your
question was, we let what happen in the Sealy Court, and we are still able to extradite Karul, is what essentially Slya was confused about. And so
Yes.
she's like,
I think you could sit there like this, and like sit up in your bedroll with your like elbows on your knees, just like, and then you're like, yes, for a moment.
Isn't Slya still watching Karul with Neff?
I meant sat on the floor, like,
Looking at Karul.
Cruel's like, huh?
yeah,
Karul's
so
so
just
confused.
sitting there, just staring, like glaring at Karul, but like
Yeah.
ignoring him.
Karul's just like, what is happening?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys slowly come to consciousness. Ulster, kind of awoken by this this call in your head, you turn to Loran, and I just want you to roll me a D20 and add your spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay, hold on.
Mhm.
The modifier? Okay.
Yes, there'll be like a plus.
Ooh, it's an 18 plus 5, 23.
Ooh, okay, perfect.
Ooh.
So you, what was I going to say?
Why is the chat going on? Oh, snow.
Snow, yes. Okay, Ulster, when you wake up, you kind of lie there for a moment and just kind of like absorb in Zarina's message. And then it's not that you'd forgotten, but you'd taken the kind of moment to make sure you completely understood what Zarina said before you properly wake up and you turn and you face Loran. And Loran is looking at you like, morning.
Ulster's so happy. He like throws his arms around Loran. And starts crying.
Oh, the waterworks have already begun. Be careful. I feel like a bomb that could go off at any moment.
Also wraps his legs around Loran too. He's like completely constricting him.
Wonderful. I am sure I can choose not to explode sporadically at any random point. And as much as Loran is kind of playing this off and like coming to consciousness, you can feel there's like a twitch to his sort of like shoulders, just to his fingers, just like the sheer energy coursing through him, still kind of like giving him aftershocks. And he says, and breathing is fun.
He loosens his grip ever so slightly, but doesn't let go.
That'll do. And kind of like knocking aside the moss bed, you see on his chest where that spell hit, there's just like a black, like kind of scorch mark, just like spreading across his collarbones over his like rib cage, and just like almost like he's been like struck by lightning. He's like kind of just like red and somewhat bruised.
Also like props himself up. He looks at the mark, kisses the mark, gets back up, kisses Loran, hugs him again. Doesn't let go.
Loran just lets it happen. And the rest of you slowly come to consciousness. Cass, you wake up and you see Loran is awake. The moment Sarah's hears commotion from the other side of the room, he just sits up as though expecting attack. But when he sees that Loran is awake, he just goes and just pushes up out of bed and just runs and just tackles the two of you. Oh, that's probably not a good idea.
Like, careful,
he says.
careful.
He says when he's already like mid-air. He just like rolls.
Also,
onto
like holds his
side.
hand out to try and brace him.
You can't make a strength saving throw.
Snap.
Twig. Oh no!
Natural one.
Oh, baby, no.
He had a long rest, right?
You have luck.
Yeah, but he's gonna save his luck for the coup.
So
Valid.
quite this session. Okay, it's gonna save his luck for the.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. So, all stare. You kind of hold up your hand, and you know when your hand's like this, but it goes like too far. You just feel like a crunch, and you just feel like a stinging pain just shoot up your wrist. And Sarah's immediately just like rolls like kind of like superhero style onto his side and just like holds your arm and is like, I was overwhelmed with emotion.
Is his wrist broken?
No, I'm gonna give you this much damage. Oh, 4 points of damage. From
Also, it's just like, ouch.
Oh my god. Sarah instinctively looks for Neff and Slayer, and he's like, I will be right.
Goes downstairs with.
It's okay.
Oh yeah. He says, I will be right back.
Oh, isn't it my? Well, can I stay with Loran for a little bit and then take over?
Stay. Cass,
I'm
protect.
fine.
Cass
I'm
gets
gonna
up.
go get Neff and Slayer. And Sarah stands up and starts heading to the door. And just...
Also, it's like it's a little bit swollen.
Cass, you see Loran and completely awake. And he's just like watching, kind of bemused, like, this is a weird morning already.
It's gonna get weirder.
And do I get to be filled in? I had this like wonderful dream where we overthrew the Sealy Court, but it was just a dream, so...
How are you feeling first? Also shuffles over, puts his hand on Loran's forehead.
I feel...
Vitals
like...
okay? He's like patting his face, looking in his eyes.
I feel like
Pulse.
lightning.
Oh.
That
could be good.
It could be good.
Is Blue
Probably
awake
not
or no?
good. Bluey, if you're awake, you're awake. You can tell me. There's commotion.
Look, can she wake up when as Loran says, I feel like lightning, and be like, huh?
Yeah, perfect. Bluey, you start sneezing and you wake up. Oh, a little crackle of lightning, and Lauren's like, oh my. Hello.
Oh, good.
Cass, Bluey, good morning. I live. Oh wait, let me do that more dramatically. I live!
Oh, I had no doubt. But as she's saying it, Cass does sort of grow like a little flower, like next to him.
Thank you. Picks it up and just starts like putting it in his hair. And Ulster, he holds your non-sprained hand. For sure.
We can fill you in, but you might want to stay lying down.
Okay. I'm gonna lie down a little bit longer, and then I think I should do some like gentle laps of the room just to make sure I can still walk.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Emma, I'm asking this for you because what is time in this game right now? Is it time for us to do a spell on the mansion, or do we have time before that? I've always got that brain.
Yes, sure. Loran,
is it morning time for them? I just don't know.
So okay, you guys arrived here midnight, early morning. You did everything that happened. Everything that happened. Around 4 a.m. probably, maybe 3 a.m. you went to sleep after chaos, and after that point, it's been 8 hours. So
So
about
it
12:31 p.m.
It's time.
if we're
well,
using UK times. Yep. It's time for what, sorry?
It's time for the spell that Cass does on the mansion.
Yes.
Then.
To do so, you would have to have the mansion open, and Loran is currently on his sickbed. So.
Yes. But Cass is going to bring it up because, Loran, I know you're currently. I don't know how spell work will go for you right now, but I think I need to get into the mansion.
Okay. This could be a.
Is there any other way that we can
Wait. Did we get the locket?
Serena has it.
Okay.
We got it.
Oh my god, okay.
Oh, we also got this. Olstead pulls out the painter and then quickly puts it back under his shirt.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Turns back to Cass. I feel much more comfortable trying to open my pocket dimension now. Yes, let's have a go. Let's just see if it works.
Can Cass do anything to help poor magic?
What are you thinking? What are you
I
thinking?
don't know. I don't know if I've got necessarily any spells that can sort of help because mine are more.
Sure.
Actually, I have. Okay, I don't know how this might work, but you say that he's like got a lot of energy, like excess energy. Cass has a spell that's literally called Absorb Element. Can she kind of do that to Loran?
Interesting. Okay, so you know. Can you just tell me what the spell's called again? Absorb elements.
Absorb Elements. Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's quite. I'm just looking at spells for anything that can sort of assist, and that looks like potentially something.
This would protect you.
Right.
So this would be able to protect you.
To sort of absorb excess energy off of him, so he wouldn't have as much sort of.
Okay.
But I don't know if that.
Interesting.
You could get him to shoot lightning at you.
It's good. I
have just spell magic, but I don't know if that would.
I think it's gonna be a bit difficult. So you could try it. I'm not gonna guarantee it would work though. So up to you.
Yeah, I think Cass would be happy to sort of try it because basically Cass knows that she needs to keep casting this spell and she wants to keep happening, so she'll do whatever she can to sort of help Loran cast it.
Cool.
He doesn't mind being a human pinata for his.
Sure. Okay. So, it's Bubba. Cool. So you cast your. Can I just confirm you're casting this on yourself?
I think you can only
do that. Yeah, you can only
cast it on yourself. I think Cass, if that was happening, Cass would say maybe the others should sort of hide.
Okay, so how this is gonna work is because Bluey makes a point, Anna makes a good point. It's a reaction. So once Loran has started casting, you can do this. So you just have this in your mind. Olstead, do you want to hold on to a dispel magic in case anything goes wrong?
If I feel like the magic in Loran is getting too high, then he can try it.
Okay, understood.
Thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it. Lots of love.
Loran takes a deep breath and just kneels to the ground, pushes aside the moss bed, some of the bundles, and begins to cast runes into the ground. He draws them out and then puts his hand in the center of them, and he takes a deep breath.
Before you do it, I think I kind of imagine not Cass I think Cass might go and bear hug him from the back so that if any magic comes off of him, it's gonna hit her before it hits anyone else.
Okay, you can try that for sure. So Loran has 2 limpets on either side of him.
His 2 favorite people.
Yeah. And he pulses his magic into the circle, and he needs to roll a D100.
Da-da-da-da.
81. Okay.
Also, thank you to Evil Doer TV for the raid earlier. Thank you very much. Lots of love to all the raiders. Thank you for the support. Appreciate
Oh my god.
Oh,
Much
no.
love. Much love. Much love. Hope you're all doing well.
Right. Oh my god, some of these are awful.
Some or this one.
Is he wild magic now? Oh god.
Well, I'm not going to say he's not, but is this the official one? Hang on. Let me just check I'm doing this right. Apologies. Why don't just give me one moment? I think it might be in the player's handbook, actually. Because the one I have here doesn't look like it's the right one. Where is the contents page? So. 99. Gosh, we can enjoy. There it is. There it is. Okay, cool. Oh. Okay. So, as Loran pulses his hand and just this magic unravels from him. It's the similar kind of style of casting that he's had before, where it's like he's weaving the kind of like fire through his fingers, the magic through his fingers, and reforming it into what he needs it to be. And you do see this door beginning to take form, and it takes shape, and it's holding its shape. But Loran's hand begins to just kind of like curl up, and his fingers kind of stretch into his Taoshiri shifted form, like golden talons just kind of like digging into the ground. And also you see his ears just kind of like fold back, almost like a wildcat's. His eyes sort of like pinprick, and its teeth kind of like sharpen somewhat as this
Still
magic just
beautiful.
kind of like still beautiful. As his body kind of just like fights to control this magic. And then there comes a point. There comes a point when you just see this crackle of magic burst off of him and bounce off a wall. And Cass, I'm going to say that this kind of that your absorb elements is going to help a bit. You sort of see some of that magic kind of come into you and just kind of like hover in your chest, like kind of like absorb into your chest. Also, is there anything you want to do before you see the effect of what's happened here? I'll give you this
There's
reaction
nothing
time.
I think I can do.
Cass can
Okay.
cast it at a higher spell slot and absorb more. So I think Cass is gonna Cass will burn like a higher spell slot for it.
Sure.
It depends what damage
so
it is.
Warlock spell
Also,
slots- Go on, sorry.
is a he's resistant to necrotic damage. But if it's any other kind of damage.
This doesn't look like it's going to be a damaging effect. From the way it's sort of like hanging in the air, the feeling of it. You know Loran's magic very well. However, you do see as where Loran's magic hit earlier, a unicorn appears. It just kind of like as if it is summoned from the ether, his magic just reforms around this golden white foal unicorn.
Thomas has entered the chat room. Hello.
No, it's not you! No!
This is a no Brody room.
A unicorn controlled by the DM appears in a space within 5 feet of you.
It's specifically not.
You roll
Controlled by the DM.
47 on his D100. And this unicorn is just there. You watch as just the magic does take hold and it takes place. If there was any stronger effect, I'm going to say it was absorbed by you, Cass. The door is there. And so is a unicorn.
That's
I love
interesting.
this.
Also, immediately gets up to go make friends with the unicorn. Can I roll animal handling?
Sure.
Ulster loves animals. Yeah. Ooh, it's very good. It's another 18 plus 28. You'll be best.
The unicorn immediately takes to you and starts like a cat, kind of like pushing its mane against your side. It almost stabs you with its horn. It's remarkably sharp.
I like this. This is fun.
The unicorn drops its clops
It's my
its
friend now.
hooves.
Every coup needs a good steed, and we're going to look magnificent taking over with this.
He's too small
Okay.
to ride, though. He's like protect.
It's very small. Protect. The unicorn just kind of like rolls into your side. Wait, can unicorns speak? Unicorn? 5e. I need to know. Because if this unicorn can speak.
You better have like the buffest voice ever. It has to be.
Oh yeah, hang on a second. Hello there! I am the unicorn! My name is Aurelia. Pleased to meet you.
Cool. Is that you?
No, my voice is far too sonorous and smooth to be Corvius's voice. I don't even know who that is.
This is interesting. Cass, did you want to go cast your spell?
Yeah, Cassie's just kind of like I think she's still like bear hugging Loran, and she's just like, what the fuck? What is happening this morning?
Loran says, I don't even know, and he starts walking through the door.
Cass is like generally wondering whether she has eaten the magic mushrooms that they all bought. And it's just like, is this just all sort of a trip? I have no idea.
Ulster brings the unicorn into the match.
Yeah, I feel like Cass is still not let go of Loran. So as Loran stood up, Cass is just still like, what?
There is a final caveat on that wild magic chart, which is that it only lasts 1 minute. So as you walk through the door, I promise it'll be the same one every single time.
Okay. We're
if
friends
it happens
now.
again. We're friends now. As you walk through the threshold, the unicorn stops and says, I feel myself fading from this plane of existence. Goodbye for now, my friend. Good luck on all of your future adventures. Turns to Bluey. Nay, nay. Nay, nay. Explode into a sea of glitter.
This is very Loran.
Can Blue roll an insight check on something that's already gone from existence? Like,
why not? Yeah.
Okay, insight +1, right? It's a 4.
It's a 4. Well, what are you trying to ascertain from this unicorn? What are you trying? What secrets?
To me? And what did it mean when it said nay, 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 nay?
And you rolled a 4.
Yeah.
It turned to you because in a past life, Bluey, you were a well-renowned unicorn hunter who went on a moral quest of finding yourself and asking the question, should I keep hunting unicorns? Which led you to the home of a noble steed, where you saw this dying unicorn, and you thought, oh no, I cannot save it. But beside it was a small foal with this like beautiful golden sheen, who you raised from childhood and became your constant companion. And through making this connection with this unicorn, you amended from your past heinous actions of being a unicorn hunter, and became a better person and saved the world in a past life.
Pause this campaign and do that. That's
Let me just throw away this binder. Bullshit. Excuse me.
Yeah, wow, to the unicorn land.
I do actually need that. I do actually need that binder. I'm just gonna get it. I have it now. There we go.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. But you did roll a 4, so how true is that? Bluey will never know. So
It's
everybody,
crazy.
you guys enter into the Loran's mansion, and you can begin casting your forbiddance. Ulster. Yes. You go inside and you notice that everything is as you left it. And I think with that comes a sigh of relief, a tension you didn't know was kind of being held in your posture. The thought that something might have happened, that Corral might have duped you still, that the more
No, it was
time
me.
that passes, the more time that passes, the more you realize that, in fact, you seem to have done it. You seem to have not only retrieved the locket, but also stopped the Painite and put a stopper in his plans.
Put a stopper in.
Definitely.
I knew you were going to say that. Downstairs, whilst all this is happening, Slia and Neff. You kind of wonder whether the others have woken up yet. You are a little bit later in the morning. Well, later in the day now. Morning for you lot. And they've yet to come and relieve you from your duties. And then you hear, out in the corridor, the sounds of hurried footsteps. Not just one set. 2, 3, 4. More than that. And
okay.
Karul raises his eyebrows and looks to the door.
Can
Moments
we do an
before.
insight check on Karul?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I'll take the nearest opportunity to equip my armor and shield as well.
That takes 10 minutes to do.
10 minutes? Oh. I will begin the process.
Could we?
You could have done that.
Okay.
You could have done that. Yeah, I'll say retroactively that on watch you two could have done this.
Okay. Cool. It's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Okay. Also, Cass and Bluey, because you guys have been waking up, I feel like it would have been only natural for you to put on your armor as one of the first things you would have done. So if you want to put on your armor, anyone who doesn't have it on, just go for it.
I only have limited
dirty
armor
20.
at the moment.
Your body is a shield. Oh, that's not good.
I actually have a backup set of armor that I could have possibly given to Bluey, maybe, or give it to her later.
You can give it to her later. I think it's but yeah, sure. Slia, you're inside in Karul. Karul, you got a dirty 20. Karul seems rather than expectant.
No, sorry, curious. I did that maths wrong. It was a 22.
Okay. 22. Okay, cool. Yeah, a similar result. But yeah, you see a sharp kind of curiosity in his eyes. If he was waiting for something, or if he knew what was happening next, that sort of assurance, the confidence, it isn't there to the same level that this just kind of like interest is. And not just interest, with a 22, the tiniest fragment of uncertainty. Just like a shred of it. It's all coming together. But regardless, just as he looks to the doorway, it is thrown open and you see, entering the room, guards armored in the armor which you've seen sort of like often enough around the Sealy Court, but most often you've seen it whilst you've in the times you've interacted anywhere close to the Ventress family. This armor, which is just kind of got like a sickly green sheen to the leathers, a kind of like an extravagant polish to it, which seems unnecessary for simple household guards. One of them, who has this sort of like brocade on each of his lapels, steps forward and announces himself to you and says, "Slyan'ssun, is that you?"
What's going on?
I didn't hear an answer to my question. Slyan'ssun, is that you? Is that your name?
Yes.
He nods and waves to the guards, and about 3 or 4 other guards immediately sort of just like surround you and try to take hold of you. Are you resisting, or do you go with them?
Like, she kind of like puts her hands up and she's like, what's the meaning of this?
We have been instructed to detain enemies of the court. We've got one of you. We're here for the other.
Who's
Just
the other?
following orders. What was his name? The son. And one of the other guards says, I think it was Sarazar. That's not actually the guy we needed though, but it's like the closest we could get. And he just says, shut it.
I'm gonna beat you up, boys.
Okay, oh no, Slya, don't! Oh no. Oh shit. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
sends a very quick message behind her back.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check because you are with disadvantage because you are sort of being surrounded by these guards.
Oh, come on. Well, it's a 13, which was the other one was a 16. So
Okay, there were 3-ish. I'm gonna say there were 3 guards around you. Let's see how they fare. Oh, what do you cast?
Slya does ascending to Zarina, saying, Ventress guards here for me and Sarazar, but maybe not Sarazar.
Okay. Almost immediately, you hear Zarina say, we're on our way. Cooperate until I arrive.
Okay.
Then let's burn this shit.
The alternate, like the other thing that was running through her mind was, I'm gonna get in his head and I'm gonna figure out what's actually going on. But she remembered Loran being like fucking around with people's heads is like big taboo in the court. So she's like, no.
Yeah, big bad. The biggest of bad. Okay, so Slya, they take hold of your arms. One has like a hand on your back, and they start just escorting you from the room. They're kind of like, they're being quite rough with you, but as you kind of exit out into the hallway, you see from the other side of the entryway, as you're being escorted up, Zarina's mages beginning to cut forward, and one who you recognize, who's has had a previous link with Ulster and Cass, to be Tome Van Phalor, falls into line with the main guard, and he turns to him and then to you, and then he says, what is the meaning of this? You can't act. You have no power here. Slya, what did you want to say?
Before Slya was escorted out, she wanted to say to tell Neff to stay here and
Gotcha.
don't leave Karul alone.
Neff, do you have a response to that?
I would like to respond by adjusting my chainmail armor,
Yes.
which I already equipped, and I want to roll an insight check on Slya.
Gotcha. Roll that for me.
That is a 26.
Yes.
26. Slya, what do you want to share?
Slya's kind of just conveying the urgency of everything is going to be fine.
Sure.
But not to panic and to just stay with Karul until somebody else gets there.
I understand. I will keep him intimidated. Good luck, Slya, okay?
Ugh. She also gets just like these like love vibes, like heart vibes from Slya.
Cute.
Oh.
Then you were escorted out, and all that happened then just happened. Tome falls into step, and he says, "No, stop. In the name of the mages, you must." And there is hesitancy you can see from maybe half or so of the guard here. And Tome kind of like makes a motion with his hand, some kind of signal which the mages respond to, and they form like a barrier, cutting off about half or so of the household guard. And that main commander who's been sort of like calling the shots just scowls at him and says, "We're escorting a prisoner." And Tome says, "Under my supervision, then. I was left in charge here." And begrudgingly, the household guard begins to pick up pace once more. And Slya, as you're walking, you feel a mind message similar to the ones that Loran would send to you. And it just says, it's Tome. I'm loyal to the Archfey. And Zarina. We know. We're waiting.
I think. What are Tom's pronouns?
He, they.
Okay. Slya just kind of responds to them like, Serena said told me to stand down, and they're coming for Sarazar. Or someone, I don't know.
Okay. You don't get a response to that. Tome just nods. And kind of looking about as you go, you do see you're pretty evenly matched now. A handful of guards, a handful of Serena's mages, and Tome with you. And as you go to the holding cells where once you did see Loran Dehane lounged here, you instead see Sarazar seated. And the moment that the cell is opened, he gets up and he comes to you and he says, "They wanted Leander. I told them he wasn't here. Offered myself instead. Better than them having Loran when he's in God knows what state."
Right.
Okay. You trust my mother? That's a stupid question.
Always.
Okay. Can you contact the others?
Are the guards still like right there and like in our faces?
Yes and no. Some of them are looking at you. That one household guard seems to be backing away instead, pulling Tome aside to have words. It's a mix, so you won't have any disadvantage, but you won't have advantage on the roll either if you are going to do a sleight of hand to spellcast.
Yeah, she was going to stand behind Sarazar.
Perfect! His body is big and beefy and a good shield, so...
Yeah.
That's the second time I've referred to his body as a shield. I wonder if I might have a problem.
Or Sarazar might have a problem thinking that he is a shield.
That's so true.
Okay, so my stealth check is a 12.
Okay. I'm going to roll a group check for the mages. And... bloop. Oh, they're so blind. 5 and 8. So even with a risky kind of low roll, you're unsure if it works, considering these are barred walls on either side. You've got a bit of a line of sight into you. You manage to pull it off. What do you say and who do you send it to?
Slya's gonna message. She's gonna message Brian. Of course, she's gonna message Brian. Sarazar and I are in the prison. Neff is with Karul alone.
Oh.
Ventress guards took us. So, Zarina told me to cooperate.
Okay. I'll respond when it's my scene again.
You can. I'd say that's a good cutaway time. So, Ulster, what do you
Okay.
have to say in response?
Are they still in the mansion?
Yes.
Okay. I think also just looks at it's Cass and Loran. I think he just says it started.
Bluey is also.
Oh, Bluey came into the mansion.
Bluey, did you come into the mansion? Did you stay outside?
I probably would have come in for
Sure.
emotional support.
Okay.
Emotional support, Lily.
We love our.
Oh, yeah. Also was gonna say it started. We need to cooperate.
Okay, Casso's like opens like one eye. How long have I been casting for?
I'll say you're finishing up right about now.
Okay, sick. Done.
Okay.
Da-da. And then thank you, Archfey, for this.
Gonna meet her soon. She's pretty hot as well, so.
Don't even.
What's Calista been doing this whole time? Just like
She's
Casso's
chilling.
had
She's chilling in a nice tavern, having a great time. Just like, I guess this is what a relationship with Cass is like.
oh, and Neff is alone with Karul. So I think I should probably relieve her.
No, I think you need to stay here with Loran and be ready for sort of anything that happens to that. I will go down and guard.
Are you sure?
Cool. Yeah, Cass is like, she genuinely thinks that Brian is better, sort of helping with other Loran and other things. Hang on, I have something.
I just don't want you guys to be overexposed.
In that regard, Loran would say to you, Ulster, this is the time where we overthrow the courts. We extradite Karul second.
Okay.
I think.
Before Cass goes down, she's going to cast Telepathic Bond with everyone in the room, which I can forge telepathic links.
Short-circuited out, George.
Oops. Is this better? Better?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I can forge a telepathic link to 8 willing creatures.
Amazing.
And for an hour.
Okay. Perfect. Yes.
So that we can. I mean, obviously, unfortunately, Neff, Slia, and Saraza will not be in that because they're not there. But at least then Cass can sort of communicate with Brian and Lorraine and Bluey.
Yep.
So
understood. Okay.
Oh, and it's the Ventress's, I think he did.
Did Brian ever respond to Slia?
Oh, yes, he can do that. Sorry. Skip my mind. I think he'll say, we'll cooperate, but we'll make it convincing.
Okay, Cass has cast that, and now she is like, I'm out, and she's off.
Okay. Cass rushes off. Right. Loran, Bluey, Ulster. The 3 of you are left in the mansion. So what would you like to do? How would you like to proceed?
Louis has a question.
Okay. In character, out of character?
Look, I'm thinking, I don't know if she realizes she has a telepathic link with several people here.
No,
but
you would have known because Cass would have said, like,
yeah.
I'm casting it and then done it. Yeah. You know.
Okay, well, getting across, okay, by overthrowing the court, what does that actually mean? Does that mean, like, knowing who's with the Archfey and then
taking out the trash?
Yep, I like this.
By taking out, is that like, or is it like
depends how much of a fight they put up.
Okay.
Loran says nothing. I'm going to say nothing. I don't want to accidentally implicate myself.
In your head,
just
Blue.
be in the moment.
Accidents happen.
Yeah. We're gonna burn them. You hear in your head, Bluey from Cass, as she's like running down to Coral.
Ew.
I can't burn.
We
We're
can
going
also
to
slash,
electrocute
bite, and kick, stomp,
Non
crush. Yeah.
eat faces.
Oh, I'm saving the eating for a particular person in particular. Yeah, you know.
I'm imagining burning off Talia's face. She doesn't
Do we
need
want
it.
to publicly humiliate her first?
I think she does that by herself well enough already, but sure.
We can maim.
Maim.
I think also just holds his hand up and casts Primal Savagery, and he gets claws exactly like Loran's.
Loran tries to shift and realizes that because of the pain, like his hands and everything is just like amplified, and he's like, "Oh, I see. Ow." Like, sure. Okay, so you guys exit out of the mansion. Loran sort of like leading the way, pushing the door open down in the cell. Down in the cell, Slya and Saraza. The two of you are left pretty much unbothered in the sort of like maybe 5 or 10 minutes or so it takes for the others to organize themselves and make their way down to wherever they are going respectively. Except after about 2 minutes, you hear 2 sets of footsteps entering into the room with you, looking over to the doorway or the entryway. You see first the sneering, incensed face of Talia Ventress.
Gonna maim.
Her immediate response to seeing the two of you in the cage is to just throw down her fists at her side as if like a child stropping, and she looks to her household guard and she says, "Bertram, where are the rest of them?" And he says, they're separated. We got the ones we could." She looks to you, Slya, and then to Saraza. "Enjoying yourselves in there, are we?"
Slya's doing the exact same thing with Karul, or with Talia that she was with Karul. She's just dead faced, just
Silent treatment then. Mature of you. At which point you hear the other figure kind of just like step out from the shadows and just push past Talia, and she goes, "Don't touch me!" And you see, standing a fairly towering height above almost everybody else in the room, maybe not Saraza, the drow vassal, Talis Calorin. And she takes a step forward and just comes to a calm stop in front of the bars of your cell. And she looks at you. "It's been a while. We might have thought you were still in Batar. With the church, that is. But you're not, you're here.
It was only for 6 months.
We might have thought you were down there for longer. But of course that wasn't you. And it hasn't been for quite some time, has it?" We got the information we needed. Enough to know that you violated your end of the deal.
Did I?
You did. Secret meetings and shacks only remain secret if you don't torture the information out of the other person. But we're not beneath that. Our church is not beneath that. pain serves our mistress just as well as worship. So, if you're wondering, or in any kind of doubt as to the reasons you are being held here, I hope that does assuage them for you. I don't care for the rest of this. And she just kind of waves her hands to the household guard, to Saraza. It's you that I care for. What do you have to say for yourself?
Apparently I need to say nothing. You have already judged me.
Would you prefer a trial?
So it looks like she's thinking about it, but she's keeping that very like stony exterior.
Talus looks away. If we're looking for a trial, if that's what you want, I think I've determined it's best to leave this plane behind. We haven't gotten what we wanted here, and I don't think we will. We tried reaching across the plains, tried niceties. It just seems that atrocities suit Lolth much better.
Slee is going to take a step back, just making sure she's out of Talus's reach.
She drops her eyes down to your feet. Reaches her arm up through the bars, at which point Tome steps forward and, with like a very firm hand, which you kind of think is a bit impressive actually, considering everything that's going on, grips onto Talus's wrist and just says, "You can't do that. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. That's my job. You can't do that."
Can I roll a deception check?
What are you trying to deceive? What are you trying to...
Like, Slia is actually scared right now.
Okay!
And she doesn't want Talus to see that.
I understand. Roll a deception check.
Nice. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Insight. Natural 1. Lucky,
We got
lucky.
lucky.
You really did. She's got a good insight, this one.
Figured as much.
She looks down at her hand and then looks up at Talia. I think it should be clear that I have no interest in dealing with the courts anymore. Am I right believing that you also feel the same? And Talia just coughs out a laugh. Isn't that obvious?
Oh, are you working together now?
Talia flinches.
Yeah, Slia is aiming that directly at Talia.
No. No. And Talus then just says, regardless, I do believe it's in your best interest to deal with this. And in a moment, you just see her signal her guards. And as close as they can come to grabbing every single mage in the room, they try it. And Slya, maybe just an insight check, just generally.
Okay.
Assessing the environment and the atmosphere of the room.
Nice. That one is also a dirty 20. I'm
That one's
rolling
also a dirty
very I'm rolling very middling right now.
Nice. Slya, the moment that they take hold, you see the mages just kind of like instinctively like go to cast, but Tome holds up his hand and says, we don't act. Wait. And he's just restrained by the guards there. And Saraza at this point just kind of like takes a side step just sort of to cover you a little bit, Slya. But Talus lowers her hand. There are things I could do to you. But I've decided against it. We no longer want to.
What do you want?
What we've always wanted. Have you forgotten?
Of course not.
Questions? I just have a few. If you don't mind.
I know where it is, if you want it.
Answer then. Where is it?
In a hidden laboratory. In Eldrelith's watch. In the palace. The Arcanist is trying to use it in some way.
You see she has a physical reaction to that. You've seen these things.
Take it. But beware, he is powerful.
Another question. Do you know the whereabouts of the betrayer? Jural.
I saw him die.
We both know death is not the end. Not always. Are you lying to me? Is he still alive?
I might need to roll another deception check.
Okay. Are you ready? Let's go.
Oh, come on, dice. That's a natural 20.
That's
Plus
a natural 1 from her.
So
end.
28.
1. Slya.
He's dead.
All that waiting for nothing then.
The real betrayer is the human man who's trying to use the tome for his own ends.
Is he the one who took it?
He's the one who ended up with it.
The one who took it, is he or she dead?
Yes.
And how is your mother? Actually, you don't have to answer that one. Goodbye, Slya. Oh. I'll leave the Feywild. We all will. We'll sever ties with the court. But if we cross paths with you again, I know for a fact there are a few who would want nothing more than to end your life and send you to our mistress. But you don't need my threats.
No.
So I
Nor
think
you
it's- Good luck with this. And she just flails her hand at the mages and guards. Talia just fuming in the background, confused, and her strop intensifying.
Best luck with retrieving the tome.
Thank you. And she walks up the stairs, out of sight. Everybody else, Bluey, Cass. Yes, Slya?
I say, just to put out there, Slya would get that, or sorry, Talis would get that Slya's being completely genuine when she's wishing her luck about getting the tome.
Fun. She was caught off guard, but has nothing else to say to you.
Yeah.
Cass,
Yes.
Slya, all stare.
Um,
You guys make your way downstairs.
Cass Bluey Ulster and Loren. He said
And
Cass
Ren.
Loren.
Yeah, I
Cass
feel
ran
like
down already, right?
Cass is what-
Oh, sorry.
Cass is-
I meant Loran, sorry, not Ulster. Not Cass, even.
Who's that?
There's so many people, guys.
Ulster and Loran Bluey. That's the current squad. Cass
That's what I
ran
meant
in.
to say. I
Okay.
said Cass instead of Loran. I'm sorry. The three of you make your way downstairs, and as you do, you see guards and mages. There's just kind of like standing off. No one's fighting, no one's actually attacking each other, but there's a tension in the air that's just honey thick. And you also see the back of Talis Kaloran as she makes her way out from an area which you know to lead to the holding cells. And Cass, you make your way down to Karul first. Okay. Neff, you see Cass enters the room. And Neff, do you leave or do you stay with Cass?
I will stay with Cass. I don't know why I'm answering that in Neff's voice, but
Wonderful.
she will. I will greet
Also,
Cass.
Oh, wait, no, hang on.
Also, Bluey Loran,
Anyway.
what way are you going? Where are you taking position?
Can we? I think Ulster will be getting nervous now that he knows that Slya is captive. He trusts Serena, but I think he might pull Bluey and Loran aside and say, "Someone needs to stay with Karul. If it comes down to it, I can get two of us down there. Someone's going to have to be taken if they come for us."
As in emergency get to Karul time? Like should I pair off
Someone
with
needs
somebody?
to be watching Karul. And Bluey,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not leaving Loran with Talia. But I'm telling you now so you don't think I'm betraying you. I think it'll be okay. But I'm not
as
leaving
in
him
me-
unguarded.
Me watching Karul or
You being left behind.
Loran says, I can also teleport myself and one other person,
Okay.
if it comes down to
Well,
it.
if they're looking for us, though, I can make us look very unnoticeable.
Loran says, I understand why, but I think it's about time I see her as I am. I trust my mother. I trust we won't fail here.
Okay, then I'll have to leave you both. I won't leave him unguarded.
Loran nods.
Can I give him an insight?
Yep.
19.
19. He's reluctant to leave you, but he's made his mind up, I think. You know that much.
Okay.
I trust
Someone,
Castle Neff might be polymorphed when Brian comes to see you.
Yeah, like Castle. Is there any of this? Is this all because we've obviously
It's
got
too far away. If you're
Telepathic connection there, right?
Oh yeah, but I thought that was only something you could instigate to send messages to others. You can't just hear everything they're saying.
No, that's what I was going to ask. Like, is any of
Do you
that? Like, have you communicated any of that to Cass?
I think once Loran rejects being transformed, I think Ulster will communicate with Cass and say, if the worst comes to it, I can disguise you. I'll come to you in Cruel's cell.
I think is what Brian thinking, like that I'm not entirely sure what Brian is thinking about sort of going to Cruel and transforming people.
The thing is, I think Brian can explain, but I'll tell you in game mechanics. I think Ulster doesn't want everyone to be captured and put in a cell, and Cruel be open to the Venthressers, because he has no idea what's going to happen, even if Serena has a fairly watertight plan. He doesn't want to leave Cruel completely unguarded. So he can transform himself into like a beetle or something, and he can probably transform Cass into a beetle, and they can sit in the cell.
Yep.
Yeah, Cass can also go invisible if need be. And just like,
you guys can do. Yeah, that's a good plan.
Okay,
I
I understand now. I was just getting confused.
Cool. Bluey, which way are you going?
With Loran.
Okay.
Before, if Brian is saying that he's kind of coming to Cruel, Cass is going to be like, what about the Pay Knight? Because Cass is reluctant to is concerned about the Pay Knight being in the same room as Cruel.
He'll put it on Bluey, I think, like right under her armor, and say, don't let anyone find this.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we splitting off though now? I don't.
It seems to be that way.
Okay. I think also we'll give Bluey a hug and give Loran a kiss, and then he's going to drop back, and he's going to try and stealth until he can't stealth anymore, and then he'll transform.
Sure. Roll me a stealth check, please. There's a lot of people.
It is very bad.
Okay. I was about to say...
So he will transform if he notices anyone seeing him.
Understood. Okay. Cool.
It's very bad.
Loran just sees Ulster like...
And he's like, okay, no. Then he transforms into like... I'm going to make him a spider, because I think that's fun.
Be the spider.
Spinnerman.
I'm a spider.
Bluey, Loran looks at you and just says, no time like the present.
I'm still at a loss as to what's about to happen.
Loran says, Ulster has made certain that none of us can be, not all of us can be captured. Okay, that's why he's gone to Cruel. We also feel like the Venthressers are probably going to attack or try and seize Cruel, so that we can't do it. Okay, so that's why they're over there, like a nice little shield, like a nice barrier. And we're going to go to the Venthressers so that I can enact my violent revenge, maybe.
Oh, I kind of want to be there though, but...
Yeah.
So we're going to enact that violent revenge
No, not
Yeah,
not
what's like-
yet.
Not right now. Wait for us.
Not yet.
What are we?
We're gonna
are
wait
we
for
like,
Serena first.
Okay,
having-
we're
Bluey, we're staging a coup. We're overthrowing the government.
I don't think I've done that before.
You
This
have?
is the best pairing, Bluey and Lorraine.
We were staging a
we've
coup.
sieged before, but that's
Yes.
different. They were overtly attacking us. This one's a bit more sneaky. We needed to
Yeah.
wait for them to show their hand. So now that they're in the process of doing so,
Okay.
we're going to wait for Serena, and then we're going to seize power.
Okay.
But we're
do
not
we, like,
evil.
Wait,
We're not bad guys.
do we wait like right here?
No, we're going to go down and we're going to have it out. Buy some time for Serena and Leander to get here.
Oh god.
Go down.
Oh,
okay.
Bluey.
Blue, do we
Come
have
with
to
me,
go down
Bluey!
there?
And he just takes
Alright.
your arm and starts leading you down the
Oh, no.
stairwell.
Okay.
I love this idea too. It's just the greatest thing. Like Lorraine and Bluey skipping in for a coup, and Bluey just being like, "What the fuck?"
Skipping in for a coup. This session is wonderfully quotable. And on that note, we're going to go for a break because I really need to loo and I want to serve some toast and to refill my
Yes.
tea. So, we will do a break, an intermission, and then when we return, coup!
Who?
Like the one we want to support. This is the kind of coup you want to
Yeah,
support.
we're behind this
Anybody
coup.
is- we're behind this coup. This coup is a good idea. This court sucks. Like, genuinely sucks. So this is a good thing that we're doing.
We'll be right back.
Yeah. Why am I on a little tirade just then?